Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our Global TV Deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent, it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits, only temporarily, those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much-needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.
Ghetto, run, keep going on, let's process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just a fly and I as a watchman around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, we gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down, war and cry. Fight down, me say Rastafari. War and cry and do the righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, Jah Rastafari. And we love Jah, Jah Rastafari. Save all people. And we love Jah, we love Jah, Jah Rastafari. We love Jah, Jah Rastafari. Preserve all people. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I say, watch a man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I and I should never hold thy peace, while we penalize. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way, prepare the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and fight down war and fight. Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, and we love Jah Rastafari. Preserve all, and we love Jah Rastafari. Me love Jah Rastafari. Me love Jah Rastafari. Preserve all. Me love Jah Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then DJ Twink.
Good morning. Minister Green was at yesterday's press conference and he spoke a whole mouthful. Too much of it you're going to hear. You have watched and listened to the state that Parottee is still left in. And you're going to hear this morning from Mr. Green about Parottee. He spoke at length, and you this morning will have to listen at length as well. You might be irritated, but that's one of the purpose of broadcasting. If broadcasting is not irritating a sector of people, then you're not doing your job. Mr. Green. Oh, Mr. Green. Mr. Green spoke at length yesterday. We're not even going to waste a lot of time this morning. We're going to let Mr. Green hobble and babble himself away this morning and tell you all about Parottee. The faces of Parottee, Mr. Green. These two young men are the main people who stood up for Parottee in Alawagwan. Now, on the left, with the Jamaican flag, that's Cousin Myrna's son. He lives in, I think, Texas. And on the right is another cousin, Lana, her son. He was the PNP candidate for local government election last year. These two young men are the two young men that stood up for our community. Even the well-publicized cleanup drive, which I spoke about on here even when I did get the date wrong, that was even communicated to Mr. Green as well. Assistance was sought from them by Mr. Green in order to assist with the cleanup and get to move some of the debris out of the community. Leave that aside. These young men, Mr. Green, are the faces of the community. Even though we don't have a councillor, Mr. Green, if you had done meaningful communication with them through your delegates, maybe something would have move and shake in our community, Mr. Green. But Mr. Green spoke about Parottee yesterday. And boy, you're going to hear what Mr. Green says. To the what is left of the rest of my community of Parottee and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning, welcome. One of our viewers as well have also sent me some questions to elaborate, and that we will explore this morning as well. Lynette Jenkins, good morning. Debbie Jarvis TV, Jamrock 8766, Colleen, good morning. Suzette Williams, Arlene Scott, Lawrence Michaels, good morning. Good morning. Heather Barrett, good morning. My mother, good morning. Pamela Acola, good morning. Laverne, Debbie Jarvis TV, Violet Watson, Miranda Ruddock, Empress Deb. Morning, everyone, and welcome. And to those of you silent viewers, good morning. Like and share the live for us, please. Now, we're going to get the irritating part out of the way first, and that would be listening to Mr. Green. We are going to get the irritant out of the way first, but you must hear Mr. Green, because as I always say to you, bullshit is not something that I can translate, and I will not attempt to do it. Carlton Barnes, morning. So, we have to listen together. He is very irritating as well. I think a little bit less irritating than Andrew Holness, Juliet Holness, Darrell Vaz, Dana Dixon, but still irritating enough. Let us listen to my MP, the Minister of Rum, Boom, Dance, Night and Funeral. The Minister also of soliciting front with COVID laptop and buying votes with Moroccan fertilizer. Yes, that same minister, Yvonne Riley, good morning. That same thieving minister, take it away, Minister Green. Fiona with the big tits.
Every time I see him as House Leader, I just smile and I am just so happy. Minister Green is someone who I admire a lot, and he made me come into this world of politics because he's just such a wonderful human being.
That's another lie, Dana Dixon. Because earlier this year, my darling, you probably will not remember, because this is how liars work, you see. Liars tend not to have good memory, Dana Morris Dixon. Earlier this year, you told us it was because of Kamina Johnson-Smith. You know, Kamina with the neck, with the neck standing on her shoulder. Yes, that Kamina Johnson, Dana Morris Dixon. You told us. But this is all the irritant you're going to have of Dana Dixon this morning. She soon come out of your way. But Dana Dixon, earlier this year, told us it was because of Kamina Johnson-Smith. But you see, when people lie, they do not remember the previous lie. We know you're bullshit, Dana Dixon. Dana Dixon, you know you're bullshit as well. As to why you continue bullshitting yourself. I mean, embarrassing. Even to change your hair, Dana Dixon, it would look like we're paying. And we're paying you a lot. I mean, cabinet ministers get a wallop, don't they? Good God Almighty, spend our money, darling.
Every time I see him as House Leader, I just smile and I am just so happy. Minister Green is someone who I admire a lot, and he made me come into this world of politics because he's just such a wonderful human being, and seeing humans like him in it makes you feel like you can do it too. And so this morning, I'm so happy to have Minister Green here to talk about what's happening in his portfolio, and also I get to congratulate him in public for being the new leader of government business in the House. Good morning, Minister Green.
Not to speak about his constituency, to speak about his agriculture and fishing portfolio, and a congratulatory on his new position of leader of the House of Representatives. Take it away, Mr. Green.
Good morning, Minister Morris Dixon. Thank you. Thank you so much. Our colleague ministers, Minister Williams, Minister Hill, Commander Gale, our permanent secretaries who are here. We do have a team from the ministry, CTD Palmer, our CEO of RADA, Mr. Edmondson, our CEO of the National Fisheries Authority, Dr. Gavin Bellamy, and also Mr. Price, who is in charge of our Hurricane Melissa recovery efforts. Other special invited guest members of the media, just
wanna listen carefully, you know. Wanna listen, me no want to no miss nothing this morning. Put on anger and frustration aside. Me know it go hurt, you know, but put that aside and listen well. All right, me a one on this morning and hit the like button before me turn off for the government this morning and turn pan uno. Uno hit the like button coming out thing I go on if you start pan uno this morning.
to say before I get into my presentation, just to commend the team at the SLB and Minister Williams, I too would not have been able to do tertiary education were it not for the Student Loan Bureau. I am well, at that time I wasn't a proud recipient. And I genuinely wished that we had some of these initiatives during that time. I'm going to age myself now, but my time was a time of add-on balance. Let me tell you something. Anyway, let's talk about the most important people in our society, our farmers and fishers. We are 4 weeks post the most devastating blow to our agricultural sector. I've already outlined in Parliament the scope and scale of the devastation, a preliminary figure which at that time was about 30 billion Jamaican dollars, about 150 million United States dollars. But to put it in perspective and to explain that those figures were really preliminary, when the World Bank did their rapid assessment using their various models, they came out at about 300 million United States dollars of damage to our agriculture sector. That's about 60 billion Jamaican dollars. I visited vegetable farmers in Boghole in Clarendon and Mafuta in St. James, yam farmers in Litchfield in Trelawney, pineapple farmers in Pisgah in St. Elizabeth. I've personally seen what has happened in my own constituency with our melon, cantaloupe farmers, and also what has happened to scallion farmers in South Manchester. It is a most catastrophic event. Everywhere that I've been to, the devastation is like nothing we have ever seen. And most of these areas you would understand, like Boghole, we have seen multiple rain-related events and disasters. But again, I've never seen nothing like this. However, in all my visits, in all those interactions, the resilience.
I would applaud these people to write a bit different. You know, see, the same way Fly Green speak when him come a funeral, come the speech of Parottee. They have one writing style. On turn up the thing to my youth. Bloody hell. And Jamaica education system train everybody to sound like a poet, journalist, politician. Everybody sound stage. Oh my God.
The resilience of the Jamaican farmer has really stood out. Farmers are planting again, re-establishing nurseries, repairing greenhouses, and getting themselves in a position to feed Jamaica again. We must feed Jamaica again. And that is why the response of the government is critical to accelerate the pace of the recovery and to ensure that we hit our targets of feeding Jamaica again. RADA is the leading operational arm for our National Agricultural Recovery Program. And as was shared yesterday in the supplemental estimate, the ministry has received initial funding of $3 billion for the rest of the financial year that we will now roll out as a part of our recovery program. And this will be a joined-up effort between entities like RADA, Agro-Invest, National Irrigation Commission, the JAS, also our National Fisheries Authority, and our international partners like the FAO and EGA. The program focuses on production restoration, infrastructure rebuilding, and enhancing climate resilience. We have now completed what I call phase one. Phase one is our rapid assessment and our immediate relief stage. In that stage, rather largely through the use of drones, map the areas that were hardest hit and assess the extent of the damage. You would understand why we had to deploy drones to do this sort of work, because unfortunately, even our extension services suffered tremendous blows. A number of our extension officers, Jesus' name, well, rainy day. We do know that.
Right. I don't know what happened there on PBCJ. What was cut out of the broadcast then? Because while Floyd Green was speaking at the press conference, there was this just clipping of this woman a pray. And a bit of what Floyd Green said was clipped out. Don't know what it was.
Some disaster is going to beset us, unfortunately. Either we're going to have an extended drought or we're going to have a lot of rainfall.
However, the prayer was, the cutout was much longer. I become me pause it to escape the prayer till it get back to Floyd. But the cutout of what Floyd Green was saying was much longer. But it was in context to that same line of conversation he's having.
Or a windstorm, something of the sort. So we have been now, over the last few years, ensuring that we have on-hand supplies that we can immediately deploy. So in this first phase, which was over the last 4 weeks, we've already distributed 6,500 packs of seeds, benefiting over 3,000 farmers, 2,000 bags of fertilizers across 8 parishes. We've had engagements in St. Catherine, St. Anne, Portland, St. Andrew, Trelawney. We're scheduled to have another engagement in St. Elizabeth on Friday, as we move to ensure that our farmers can get back out there. We've also started some restoration work in relation to some of our RADA offices. That will, however, take some time. Unfortunately, we do have offices that were completely destroyed in parishes like St. Anne that we will have to take some time to build back. So having gone through the rapid assessment and provided that initial support, we're now going into phase 2 of our recovery, which is really about intensifying our interventions over the next 6 months. Already, we have procured over 7,000 packs of seed, approximate value of $50 million, and we are distributing as we speak to the parishes. We're already in an additional stage of procurement for another $70 million worth of seeds. We have approximately 5,000 bags of Moroccan fertilizer, which we're distributing again as we speak. And I want to pause to thank the government of Morocco for their kind support. This was
Come on, thingy.
Hurricane Melissa. This is not a Melissa gift, but we decided to hold on to it until the end of the hurricane season, just in case we needed to rapidly deploy it. And that's what we're doing.
Now, we knew, those of us in Parottee, Black River, and the surrounding Floyd Green, we knew of those 2 trucks of fertilizers that was unloaded at your house on Crane Road in the run-up to the general election, Mr. Green. So your excuse now for the stolen fertilizer is that, no, the American fertilizer, we held on the American fertilizer that came last year, even though we used some of it to buy vote, we still hold on to the end of this hurricane season. So if Melissa never come Floyd Green, when the farmer them did that, Lord Jesus, receive me, no more would I. So Floyd Green, to pose and say Melissa never come Floyd Green. Floyd Green, Fiona Beswick, Big Titty Fifi, to pose and say Melissa never come, or Fifi, Is it because I don't know say Melissa they come? Which is it, me, Fifi? We would like that is what we would like Fifi to clarify for us. Hmm? We would like Fifi to clarify certain things for us. If why farmers never get the fertilizer in a barrel, all them are suffer for it. One. Two, if you hold it over for Melissa, suppose Melissa never come. At what point, Mr. Green, will those fertilizers be distributed to the farmers? Three, Mr. Green, during your holding over till this here hurricane season, is it because you know Melissa was coming? We want clarity on that because I'm confused as to why you never give us any explanation as to why did fertilizer them never distributed last year after burial. When we blatantly saw you, Mr. Green, in Southwest St. Elizabeth down a Parottee Black River Crane Road and load fertilizer off of your truck in your yard, you gave us no explanation then. But you find it convenient now, Flight Green, for jump out, come tell we say. You put it down in preemption, Mr. Green, of a hurricane this year. To pose and say Melissa never come. What you there go do? Hold it for the next hurricane season of 2026, Mr. Green? When I see all them people love to irritate me early in the morning, they just light in a Flight Green. Flight Green, they just light. They just light in a Flight Green. They just light and you start the irritant already. All right, Mr. Green, continue. Go on, Mr. Green. You're this morning's irritant. Go on.
No, we will be also purchasing about $50 million worth of fertilizer specifically formulated for yam farmers. We saw about 70% damage to our yam crop. So we're looking at special lines, 14, 28, 14, 11, 22, 22, and sulfate of ammonia. And we're also will be putting another $50 million to procure planting material and stakes. So that's about $100 million in our program towards our yam farmers. We're also working with the Agricultural Land Management Unit to do some rapid soil analysis. We've started with our yam belt because, again, if you've been into our most damaged area, the entire topography looks different. And as such, RADA is working with the Agricultural Land Management Unit to do.
Is it topography or topography? Which one of them? We don't know.
This rapid soil analysis so that we can guide our nutrition program. We're also focusing on our greenhouse farmers, and already we're advancing procuring about 85,000 square feet of greenhouse material that we will deploy to our greenhouse farmers. We're going to be doing a special focus on our nurseries. So we have outlined a program where over the next 3 months, we want to produce at least 2 million seedlings. And to make that possible, we'll be procuring an additional 105,000 square feet.
One thing with this liard, he can present the lie them well. Unlike Favor, poor thing. Unlike Favor Williams, who struggles to tell the lie. Unlike Favor Williams, who struggles to tell the lie. One thing with this, your liar there, he can tell a lie straight out. Trust me, he's good at it. He can tell a straight out lie.
Of material, we're also going to be procuring frames for 32 greenhouses, and we're procuring now some soluble fertilizers to help our hydroponic farmers that are still functional. You may have heard that we've started a free land preparation program, and that is ongoing as we speak. The idea is to ensure that there are less barriers for people to get back into agriculture. So we've started that for farmers who are interested. They can contact RADA. And
this is what Flight Green used and fool Southwest St. Elizabeth people, his presentational skill, which is that's all he has. There's emptiness without that. Without the little presentational skill, because you notice him as above the rest of them when he come to the podium, he can use the presentational style where the rest of them just read or baffle or babble. Look at thief. But I think the American them a position in Jamaica and prepare for another wicked. Because I think the American them a position to take over for Andrew Holness. They want know.
You set some parameters. So if you have less than an acre, we prepare all of that for you free. If you operate up to 5 acres, we'll prepare up to 3 acres free. If you operate up to 10 acres, we prepare up to 5 acres free. And all of that is happening through our RADA tractor services. Additionally, we are engaging private tractor operators. But I say to the farmers, come to RADA to engage the private operator. Don't engage a private operator and then come to RADA to reimburse what you have spent. We have put out an open call that we are looking to partner with those who own tractors. We will take on that tractor on an arrangement. We will provide that tractor service to the farmer and we will do the payments. There are some areas that we are targeting for immediate recovery, like our sweet potato. And through Bodles, we'll be providing 500,000 sweet potato slips, targeting our agro parks, trying to drive up.
No, it's the bar training he's illustrating. This is how you are trained at the bar, you see. So him have the bar training well and the lecturer skills, him have them there. And I hit him use and fool people because barring that, Flight Green is an empty shell.
Our sweet potato production. We've started procurement of water tanks, gravity drip kits, pumps, and drip lines because, again, access to water is critical in the recovery effort. Additionally, I'm pleased that...
No, who said that? Immigration. No, I know Parottee want to build this city. Remember, he wants to build a 3rd city in St. Elizabeth, which he wants spread out Black River. So that's why people like in Lagwood, Jungle, and Newtown and so on becomes at risk of his land grab. But Parottee is in the way of his South Coast tourism development because we are on that coastline from Black River where he would start the South Coast tourism development from. Also, I think what their plan is that lake, they're going to dump it up. I think that's what their plan is. The lake that we sit in between the lake and the sea. I think they have a plan to dump up the whole area to build them tourist development. But we will watch to see their move to come because we see them start trickling already. Then say them have to go look at if people can rebuild certain place, blah blah blah. Then and just said that we already see they have the land agency down at Black River and it's surrounding environs, scooping up government lands. So we're watching the move of the government quite closely. We're fully aware of the government's intention. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of us are becoming more and more aware because the people on the ground are not convinced that this was a hurricane. A lot of people are becoming more and more convinced that this just was not a so hurricane.
Announced that of the $3 billion that have been earmarked by the Ministry of Finance, $800 million has been allocated for emergency work to our farm road network. Our farm roads suffered tremendous damage. And again, we all understand, if our farmers can't reach to the farms, if they can't get out their produce to the market, then we have another challenge. Clearly, this $800 million, based on the amount of work, may be able to do about 40 roads in this initial phase, but I'm very sure that as we continue and get additional support, we will step those numbers up. On the livestock, you may have heard some of the numbers. We lost about 458,000 hens, or about 40% of our laying population, which has significantly affected egg production. We lost about 700,000 broilers. We're starting the process of rebuilding that sector. Already we've procured 100,000 broiler chicks and feed, which will produce about 160,000 kilograms of chicken meat. We're starting distribution this week. Clearly, we're targeting the farmers that have the capacity to continue. But as part of this broiler initiative, we will be focusing on building back infrastructure, because a number of farmers in the hardest hit parishes not only lost their chicken, not only lost their feed, but they lost their chicken coops. So we're going to be building that back as we move forward. We also have specialty programs that we're outlining for our pig farmers, our cattle farmers, our small ruminant farmers. We're procuring about 9,000 bags of animal feed to help in that regard. That is just rather and just some of what we're doing. But there are other entities that are critical to this recovery progress. The national...
Hold on there. Zenith, Lagwood, Jungle, Parottee are at very serious risk at the moment in the Prime Minister's land grab, New City, and South Coast tourist development, because we keep speaking of the New City and keep missing what the Prime Minister said. The Prime Minister spoke about both the third city and the South Coast tourism corridor that they're going to develop. Now, that corridor, I've been saying this forever, that corridor the Prime Minister spoke of is 95% residentially owned from the coastline of Black River all the way to Treasure Beach, barring Rona Fort Charles, Prime Minister. Which part did they? Where did they? For you come there, can't develop any tourism. Put your city aside. Well, my advice and my cousin advice is to you, build it in a zigzag round way. Wherever you can find a little patch of land, Prime Minister, build it in a zigzag round way.
National Irrigation Commission, despite widespread damage to our electrical infrastructure, the NIC has moved aggressively to restore service. We have done much better than Hurricane Beryl. And I think that is something that we should celebrate. Power has now been returned to 85% of our water production pumping stations, 37 out of 44 for 4 stations, including in St. Elizabeth and 1 in Trelawney. We have deployed diesel generators so that those stations can operate. It was one of the things we saw in Beryl. It took us a long time to get the hardest hit areas back up and running. Already, we've used 4 generators, and in some of those areas, the NIC is pumping as we speak. In fact, today, 98% of the NIC customer base has water service restored. I think we should give the NIC a big round of applause for that.
The phone stand just...
A big round of applause for that. The NIC
the
is also operating 12 water filling stations, and one of the things that we have been doing is to provide social water in some of the hardest hit areas. 2.3 million gallons of free water has been provided, supported 1,836 persons across 45 communities in Trelawney, Hanover, and St. Elizabeth. We're also focused on our canal cleaning. You can imagine that we have a lot of debris in our canals from Hurricane Melissa. 20% of the canal cleaning has already been completed, and we're moving on that restoration activity. The Agro Invest Corporation and our agro parks is going to be a critical part of our recovery, has started to engage our agri-park farmers. In fact, they had an engagement session with them last week, Tuesday, and they have officially launched a 1,000-acre boost recovery program, which is targeting the rapid return of key crops such as tomatoes, vegetables, melons, sweet potatoes, cassava, hot peppers. Farmers in Clarendon, St. Catherine, and St. Elizabeth are already engaged with...
No, Mulgrave is not near Parottee. I don't even know where Mulgrave is, to be honest.
Portland, St. Thomas, and the corporate area being mobilized. Under our 1,000-acre AgriPark Boost Recovery Program, we would accelerate land preparation, drain cleaning, road repairs, irrigation recovery, seedling supply, fertilizer distribution, and coordinated input support. We're also fast-tracking our matching grant scheme, where we're providing up to $750,000 to farmers for tools, irrigation supply, fencing, and planting material. Additionally, we are using private tractor services in our agri-parks with the target of preparing at least 50 acres per week. We're providing at discounted rates of up to 62% to get our agri-park farmers back up and running. The JAS has also been on the road with the United Way team. In fact, the United Way launched a fund to support Hurricane Melissa recovery efforts, and I want to formally commend our champion athlete, world champion Oblique Seville, who was the first donor to the fund, contributing $500,000 to the fund and starting the JS on the road to help with the United Way for the recovery. Our fisheries sector, again, tremendous blow. Over 3,000 boats that have been
Bill up on yourself for the judgment.
damage. Almost all our fishing beaches on the south coast have been tremendously impacted. Almost all our fishers lost most of their fishing wire and their pots. And as such, we have already started our immediate relief. We've already distributed over 900 rolls of wire valued at $19 million to fishers across
Lord God Almighty.
20 beaches. We're now emergency procuring 2,000 rolls of wire, and we will start that distribution next week. We've purchased
Man.
10 2,500 gallon tanks to
This buffering.
be positioned at some of our fishing beaches to help.
Slide green. What happened to the portable toilet and the hand wash station where we're asked about how long?
Help our fishers and also those who trade in fish to treat with post-harvest and personal hygiene. We think that's very, very important. We're also going to be embarking on a program to distribute ice to some of our fishing beaches so that our fishers can get up and running. You know, across these beaches, a number of our fuel stations still do not have electricity, and that's why we have dispatched generators so that they can operate, and generators have been dispatched to Alligator Pond and Great Bay, and those stations are now operating. The White House fuel station, we've done some cleaning work, and our electrical assessment is on the way to see how we can get it up and running. You may have heard that as fishers, if you lost your identification card and your license in Hurricane Melissa, reach out to us. We're going to replace those free of costs. We've also, for the hardest hit parishes, we've also put in a 6-month moratorium on license and ID fees. So our fishers in those areas don't have to worry about that.
It's coming up to the part where I'm going to talk about Parottee. So I'm going to clean out of the ears. Well, if you're not drop asleep, wake up. I'm soon talk about Parottee.
That they can come in and do their renewals free of cost. We're distributing net and wire across St. Mary, St. Catherine, Kingston, and St. Andrew. Again, part of our drive is in the areas that were not as hardly as hit as hard, that they can get out quicker. So we've been reaching to them and providing them with some support. The Old Harbor Bay Fuel Station is also back in operation, and we're going to be working with our mining division and our mining partners. And where we have fishing beaches that are in need of cleanup, we're going to dispatch teams to do that cleanup. Already, we have earmarked a team to go into Parottee. Unfortunately, when you go into Parottee, all the boats are in the morass. Boats are stacked on top of each other. We're going to move hopefully this weekend to try and treat with.
Let me reverse it a bit where may play clearer. Hold on. Murdo.
Been reaching to them and providing them with some support. The Old Harbor Bay Fuel Station is also back in operation, and we're going to be working with our mining division and our mining partners. And where we have fishing beaches that are in need of cleanup, we're going to dispatch teams to do that cleanup. Already, we have earmarked a team to go into Parottee. Unfortunately, when you go into Parottee, all the boats are in the morass. Boats are stacked on top of each other. We're going to move hopefully this weekend to try and treat with that. Our veterinary services division has been doing
Ghetto, run, keep going on, less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just as I and I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Day or night. We gonna bust down Babylon walls. Prepare every the way. Prepare every the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war and crime. Say Rastafari. War and crime. And do that righteousness. And we love. And we love Jaja. And we love Jaja. And we love Jaja. We love Jaja. We love Jaja.
Rastafari, preserve all people.
Put time away. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. So just as I and I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace while we penalize day or night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare every the way. Prepare every the way for Rastafari. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war and crime. Rastafari.
Now, you have seen two videos. You have seen a video from Lot 1 Boys that we watched together on here of the devastation in Parottee. Last night as well, you have watched recent images that we have not seen before of the state of Parottee. You are well aware of the cleanup campaign that the community had on Sunday just gone, the 30th of November. You heard Mr. Green just now, didn't you? You have seen the state of Parottee, haven't you? And you have heard Mr. Green, have you not? So that's all. Not another word. Not another word. So what do you want me to say this morning? What can I say? What should I say? What can I say that would make sense? Because the way how Jamaicans would deal with this is to cuss up one whole heap of galang in whole flight and push him back up to Netherlands region and all of that. But me kind of tired. Me kind of tired. Me seriously kind of tired. What else can I say? You heard Floyd Green? Not a word about Parottee. Floyd Green said, I'm going to clean up the beach. Beach. Yeah. Beach. Floyd Green said, I'm going to clean up the beach. As if we hold them no broke down. As if we host them no broke down. As if we community no partially marooned. As if we don't have a dead body, one of our family in a water where we beg them help with from however long. What me fi do? And what me fi say? You heard Floyd Green just now. Floyd Green spoke nothing of the devastation, the worst hit area in his constituency. Floyd Green spoke nothing. Floyd Green said, arrange one clean up team to go clean up the beach. Big tits Fifi, the beach. Murdo. Yes, a AI and drone and Google surveillance. They use and imagine the damage. Google's satellite just fly over the place. And it's kind of no Google lie and wicked, just like Floyd Green and Dana Dixon and Andrew Holness them. So Google just fly over and say, that's it. And the Americans say, okay, we will, that's it. Yeah. Floyd Green not say nothing else. Nothing. I thought Floyd Green was going to explain to the people, given his official capacity in the constituency, the devastation. Floyd Green, go pick up the same thing them for the beach. Beach cleaning. Beach cleaning. The minister spoke of no assistance. The minister spoke of none of the infrastructural damage to the land that has become an encumbrance to the community and the people. Mr. Green said nothing. Zilch. Nil point. Not as a word. Not a word. It never happened. We, said Mr. Green, have not seen it yet. What not talk about? Even though I live on that same stretch of road, I have not seen it, said Mr. Green.
Wider.
You never like that the other day. So because when you tide come from the beach now, when you tide get high, you will see water come back in. At night, the tide get low, water go back.
Oh, so each time
The tide come back, you don't more land. This is emergency. This is not something because the phone system is very delicate down here. We don't get no phone system. So you can't get to call the proper people.
Right, yeah. Me realize so everything for me dead down here. So.
You understand? So Floyd Green, they're saying good, but this is not somewhere good. And a guy, me watch him over there, oversee, I watch him do. This is the time when you need it here to do something. You can't keep hiding. But the rest, you hide people need help.
Does it not get worse?
When you get stroke, one side of your body dead. When this road cut off, it's like when you get stroke. So community dead right now cannot now go through it.
True.
Just to get on the other side, you have to go how much miles round just to come back on this side.
Yeah.
And because nobody there have to talk, you don't hear nothing about it. The road need fix, man.
Not even say talk, for sure.
You know.
That's and to be honest with them, come down here.
You see, when me beg Parottee people and Southwest Elizabeth people never to vote for Floyd Green, from family to my community, Black River, on the south side, them beat me on Facebook in a September, in a August, Lord Jesus, them beat me, then disgrace me, families and the community, them disgrace me. Because I never support them minister. Me tell them of them minister and them MP wickedness. Parottee people, Black River people, and Southwest St. Elizabeth, no disgrace me. No even kick me out of the Black River group on Facebook. No disgrace me.
But I'm going to do video, I'm not come that side here.
Yeah, 'cause you don't know about
I
it.
didn't know. So somebody see me and say, bro, you can go down some more from Parottee Road.
They need to come here, man.
The road broke off their people.
One of the chief leader in the disgrace was one of my cousin, the younger brother to Errol. Because Floyd Green have a lot of support on the stretch of the coastline here in Jamaica. Uno wouldn't understand. Uno wouldn't understand the support that Floyd Green has on this coastline. But I warned them, didn't I? Lord Jesus, only if they would listen. No representation. No representation. No help. Everybody turn a blind eye. Everybody look the other way. It's really not happening. Down a Parottee there. Come to the government and the media. It never happened. Because they not show it. They not talk about it. So it never happened. How if it happen and nobody not see it and nobody not talk about it.
People living, going to the road where it broke off, so you can walk. Go to, I mean,
See the stake them out there, so see people are passing. You can show it. So out there, when you join this.
And you know the sad reality is, they still believe in him. They still believe in him. When you're ready for hear them talk, nobody from government no come round you. Only Mr. Green. Nobody no care about we. Only Mr. Green. Mr. Green haven't come with one iota of government support. Mr. Green come with the Chinese. Mr. Green come with Usain Bolt. He came with everybody. He came with KFC. Mr. Green. Mr. Green has not turned up with any government support to now. Mr. Green haven't spoke in an official capacity of the devastation in Parottee. I haven't heard him. Maybe he spoke and I haven't heard, but I have not heard him. I thought he would have had something to say yesterday in the press conference. I thought Mr. Green yesterday would have something to say in the press conference. If Mr. Green was serious about cleanup, when Jellan come all the way, Mr. Green, from Texas, and they arrange cleanup, get the community together, well publicized, Mr. Green. It was communicated to you. You have many delegates in the community, Mr. Green. Assistants of trucks were sorted to pick up the debris from the community when they were doing their cleanup on Sunday, Mr. Green. Not props. Not a thing. And then you went to press conference. You went to press conference and you said, you shame me now. Because Jellan, the Bennett boys have put you to shame. Andel Bennett and Kevar Bennett, they have put you to shame, Floyd Green. Because Kevar have to left in business and Mandevlan come and pay attention to the community because we don't have no council to represent we. Jalan have to left and Texas come down to come arrange, clean up, slide green. You are embarrassed. Just like how Andrew Owners come from foreign and embarrassed and come cuss way off. Why you never cooperate with Kevar and Jelan? Why you never cooperate, Slide Green? If you're serious about cleanup, why you never cooperate with Kevar and Jelan when they arrange a cleanup for the community? Something which was well publicized, something you were informed of, Slide Green, something your assistant was sorted. And you got a press conference, go say, you're going to send mining team to go to beach clean up a Parottee. So what about the rest of it? The rest of what's there to be done? What about the infrastructural damage to the land? What about, let me use phone word, the partial marooned of the community? What about that? What about the infrastructure damage to the people houses and around the people houses? What about our insurance money, Slide Green? What about the assistance from the international community, Slide Green? But Slide Green, if you notice, have very little to say about his constituency, if nothing at all, because I told you, a government minister pays attention to his portfolio. If the constituency for now, what I'm paid for and is concerned about is my government portfolio. I am tongue-tied by the ministerial code. Therefore, if Andrew Holness doesn't want St. Elizabeth to be spoken of, at least John Cross in Southwest St. Elizabeth, at least if we did elect Miranda Wellington, we don't have somebody a buckle phone right now. Just like how Dayton and them, like the Westmoreland MP, them and Jess and them a buckle for them people. Maybe if we did choose Miranda, we don't have somebody for a buckle phone right now. But nobody is there. Neither councillor or MP. Neither councillor nor MP. All gone missing. All gone missing, Slide Green. But in a way, you know, when I get one, I deserve the treatment. This is not in reference to the hurricane. This is in reference to the treatment. Because I did one, you know. You all knew. That's why we gave him the name Minister of Dance, Rum, Boom, and 9 Nights and Funeral. Because that's the only time he turn up. Barring when he look vote, Slide Green will come when you have somebody dead. He will. I've always said that about him. One thing with Slide Green, when you have somebody dead, him will turn up. Me nah go lie with him about that. He will turn up at your dance. He will turn up at your 9 nights. He will turn up at your funeral and he will give a well-presented speech. You would have think Slide Green and the person got to school together. He does all that. And that the people them is fooled by, you know. And that them the good MP where you hear them talk about. So that's all. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing. Not a thing. That's all they sit down and talk about every day. He's the best MP.
So already, I'll not identify anybody.
Yeah.
When you join in this already, you know.
Yeah.
By crossing over there, so. And we're Prime Minister. I know you don't know about it. So I want the Prime Minister to know. Mr. Hole, this morning, if you know what's going down here, call your MP and tell him to go attend to the people urgently, man. It's serious down here. It's bad down here. The people them need help down here. They're getting food, they're getting water. That's not what we have problem with now. We have problem with the land. been taken away by the water. And without they stop the leakage of the water, it's not gonna stop. It's just gonna eat up the people and property. We need help. The people need help, and because they can't speak for themselves, everything just don't get complaining to themselves, and nobody come on at it. Where is like Green? I don't know, almost a week now I don't see Green. I don't even know him. I always see him on picture on a fixed road. This is not the time to fix them the road. This is the road we need fixed right now.
In our community.
In our community, Parottee, St. Elizabeth. Today, not tomorrow.
I don't think nowhere in Jamaica got damage like Parottee. I'm not trying to be competition, but you have people houses collapsing. You have people lose them boat, car, engine.
It's hurricane come.
So if my cousin come all the way from overseas and see how we live in, you know it's a problem.
From Sunday me come in, and I'm gonna see a man we're responsible for your come here. So
If you've got kids under 16 in the UK, please listen to this. What would happen to your family if your income just stopped tomorrow?
Yeah. And the people, when they come here, say them come all now they can't come.
That's why I tell them, say, don't be afraid for when persons like me come in here.
I know you. I know your program. I watch your program a lot when I'm over there. I watch Jamaica Walk by all the time. I'm glad for no see you there because me can't get my phone for call out. I'm gonna post these things to make sure say my Prime Minister, which I respect him a lot because I know I'm the wealthy country. But I don't think he know what's going on down here.
And he need to know.
He need to know because Mr. Green know. So get couple public workshops from up Mandeville if they mash up a Black River or higher up to come down here and get lots of mall down there. So the mall will come out of Black River could have come dump up here.
True.
So don't tell me you don't have truck. You got truck you can borrow from Mandeville because Mandeville don't mash up. Black River mash up, so your truck would be without a service. But get the truck down from Mandeville to come down here and dump up the place so people can live in peace, man. Crocodile in that water, you know?
Yeah.
There's a crocodile in that water. Young kids is around. Are you just ignoring the people? Mr. Prime Minister, I know you don't know, but I hope you see this.
That is it.
Send your MP, Mr. Green, to come and get the proper people to come in and fix the place. We need fixes. All right, sir. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for speaking, man.
All right.
Mr. Green. Mr. Green said must mining people go clean up the beach in Parottee. He have assigned a truck. Mr. Green have a lot of support, and that very coastline that you see, which is so battered there, Mr. Green is strongly supported in our community. Mr. Green lives in our community. It's not like a community where you know an MP is stranger to where a vote time alone. No, Mr. Green lives in our community. Mr. Green lives on Crane Road. Parottee Road and Crane Road is one stretch of road. Mr. Green, which part you see them stand up there where the road bus out, is just about a 45 minutes walk. Walk, not drive or ride. Walk to Mr. Green's house. All right? So it's not a community that Mr. Green is stranger to. Mr. Green sits in Andrew Holness' cabinet. Mr. Green sits on the sub-cabinet committee. I mean, so how Andrew could not know? Andrew flew. It's one of the first constituents that Andrew flew over. Andrew stood 5 miles from where the bus out there and declared Black River as the ground zero the day after Melissa. It's a careful plan, though, is it not? Prime Minister Juan Land. Let's turn to the questions I've been asked this morning. I've been asked 3 questions in relation to the whole relief effort and stuff. So the first question from one of our viewers is, when Andrew Holness say he's going to give out food vouchers, where exactly will people be able to shop with them? Now, that question I have concern around myself, and I wish the Prime Minister could give more clarity on that. But in relation to how the Prime Minister spoke when he spoke of that, it gives me the impression that that can be spent, whether it be at supermarket or local shops. Now, there's various issues here. The voucher. One, a government, I think almost you're going to need ID to access the voucher, based on something Alvin Gale said in the PAAC committee in relation to the inventory system they are setting up to follow the resources. So obviously, ID would be sorted in relation to that. The other problem is how much of a dollar value, because we know this government is latched on to not more than $20,000, which $20,000 cannot buy food enough for a family of 4, which is the metrics they use. If it is a voucher of $20,000, how often would they receive that voucher system? Is it a weekly or a monthly? These we need clarification on from the government and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. How much of a dollar value will be the voucher issued by the government in the cancellation of the food packages, in the replacement rather, of the food packages? And how often will these vouchers be delivered? And for that matter, where is there a specification of where they can be spent? Or is the understanding that we have that there's a possibility that it can be spent at local shop or supermarkets? These are things that the government needs to give us clarity on, because the broad brushing doesn't really answers the public's question, Prime Minister. So to my view, I know you're watching, I myself need more clarity from the government. And it's good that you ask this question so we can pose to the government what we need clarity on. How much of a dollar value will be these vouchers that are being issued? Where can they be spent? And how often will they be issued? It's important for us to know those information. Then the second question goes on to how are people expected to collect these vouchers if so many have lost their ID and their plan to and is there a plan to in place for that? Now, this is, as well as the question just posed to them just now, more clarity from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. I am assuming, based on the trajectory, that identification will be a requirement. Now, if identification is a requirement, how does the government plan to deal with the issue of the distribution of these vouchers if people have lost all their identification, or for people that matter who probably never have the identification before, whether it be passport or so. The broader question, though, if the government, and this is a very serious part to it, given the government way of lurking around things and jumping out of bush pan way. The replacement prime minister of identification. We have various identification mechanisms, which we know the intention of it is to roll them all into one. We have our passport, driver's license, TRN, fishers and farmers license and all that, voters ID. For those prime minister, people who have lost their documentations, other than the replacement of passports, prime minister, will people be forced to accept a NIDS identification in relation for the renewal of their lost identification? It's important that we ask this question, Jamaica. Because we know the prime minister have his intention to push things, brace up things, span with so. Brace up in a corner and then brace up things span with. So that's an important question as well. And that we need clarity from the government on the replacement of lost and destruct identification. Will people be forced to enroll into the NIDS identification system, Prime Minister, in order to get back them lost or damaged identification? And this is something that the broader Jamaica needs to be asking in relation to these things, because we know the court already tell the Prime Minister you cannot use NIDS as a barrier. You cannot use it as a barrier to deny services to the people. So that is something we need to keep in focus. And then the third question, I'm going to try to let Dean Jackson Miller answer that question before I do my babble on it. The third question is, and why does the PNP seem so timid in responding to these issues? I'll let Dean Jackson Miller answers this question, and then I will babble after Dean Jackson Miller, because the PNP, they might irritate me too, you know. The PNP, they might irritate me as well. And, oh dear. Where are we?
Chance to dive into the basics of HTML.
So
Let me Dean Jackson Miller answer this question. Bear with.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation.
Somebody say.
Come maybe if me start on the PNP them this morning, you see, all hell might just broke loose. Because I am about to withdraw my support from Mark Golden's leadership of the Uptown PNP. Don't let me start this morning. This is the reason why I'm going to let Dean Jackson Miller answer the third question.
And a lifeboat for the PNP now, or maybe a life buoy or even a noodle, but send something because they need help. And this was on full display in the sitting of the parliament that I'm going to be talking about in this video. I'm Dion Jackson Miller. Thank you so much for joining me. Time for tea. So the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Juliette Holness, has a very rigid approach to presiding over the Parliament, right? She likes to quote the standing orders at length, read from them at length. And she says her mandate is to bring order back to the House. All right. Now, how she presides over the House deserves its own video, right? But not today, because today my main point is that the opposition PNP is not being strategic in how they respond to the Speaker and how they maneuver and act in the House. Remember, the Speaker has massive authority in the Parliament, right? A lot about how the parliamentary sittings run depend on who is in the Speaker's chair. The Speaker sets the tone, how he or she maintains order, how they deal with disputes when they come up, whether they're witty, whether they're fair, whether they have a good relationship with the opposition. A lot of the atmosphere in a parliamentary session can depend on who is in the Speaker's chair. So what happened at this sitting is that opposition Member of Parliament, Peter Bunting, who represents South Manchester, wanted some questions tabled in Parliament. This excerpt starts near to the beginning of the sitting. The House Speaker has been going through the agenda, and then MP Bunting gets up.
I'm at public
Madam
business.
Speaker,
I'm at public business.
Madam Speaker,
Member from.
Madam Speaker,
member.
I stood under questions and answers to questions.
It has not reached my desk, member.
But that
and
has
you're
nothing,
aware.
Madam Speaker, the standing orders doesn't.
House Leader. House Leader, turn your mic on.
Come. Madam Speaker. Member.
So it looks like Mr. Bunting's mic was turned off and he continued to talk off mic. You can hear him practically yelling in the House. And the use of the microphone system in Parliament also deserves its own video, but not today. Here's Leader of Government Business, Floyd Green, and after him, you'll hear Leader of Opposition Business, Philip Paulwell.
Madam Speaker, firstly, let me join my own welcome to the students from the Northern Caribbean University, an excellent institution in Manchester. They have done extremely well, especially in relation to research and areas like robotics and entrepreneurship. And I'm very happy that they're here sharing in the House today. Madam Speaker, in public business, Madam Speaker, yes, the member for South Manchester had submitted to the House through you and the class.
He has not submitted any questions through me.
Madam Speaker.
The questions, when submitted through the clerk, will still have to come to the attention of the Speaker. The Speaker cannot.
Madam Speaker.
The Speaker cannot.
Madam Speaker, I have a connection.
The Speaker cannot speak to any item not received.
Madam Speaker, the member for South Manchester has duly submitted questions that he wished to table at this time through the clerk and as it's required by the standing orders, and he now
Build a website you love. with Wix. For your words, create your brand.
Notice of question. Standing order 15. A question shall not be asked without notice unless it is of an urgent character or relates to the business of the day, and the member has obtained the leave of the speaker to ask it. Notice of a question may be handed by a member to the clerk during the period known as question time. Each such notice shall be signed by the member giving it. A member who desires, it's deeper than that, you know. Member. The standing order goes on in detail to contents of questions. The right to ask a question under Standing Order 16.1 shall be subject to the following general rules as to the interpretation of which the speaker shall be the sole judge. Subsection A. The proper object of a question is to obtain information, and it continues. A question shall not include names of persons or any statement of fact unless they are necessary to render the question intelligible. If a question contains a statement of fact, the member asking it shall make himself responsible for the accuracy of, and it continues. I'm not going to read all of the 20 points. The speaker cannot accept and table questions that have not been read at all or received by the speaker. That is why the standing order requires and leader of opposition business, yes. You are fully aware.
Yes, but Madam Speaker.
There is no but.
Madam, of course there's a but, Madam Speaker. If for example, the speaker refuses to accept and to read
this is not for example. I just got the question on my desk 1 second ago. The member came to the office of the speaker at approximately 15 minutes or so after 2. He said he had submitted some questions. Have I seen it? I answered him. I told him no. He said he would go and get it and he would give me a copy. He just did.
Yeah. Why can't you just go and have a look at them? Yeah, but it's this morning.
Look, the way the speaker is dealing with the leader of opposition business in the House is unfortunate. It sounds disrespectful. It doesn't sound good. Okay, now we get to the problems I have with how the opposition approach this issue, all right?
I would pray in these matters we don't have to be contentious. The questions were sent to the clerk today. There is a requirement that the speaker must review the questions before the questions are tabled. Because before the questions are tabled, the speaker must review, because if the questions do not accord with the rules, if they include statements of fact, etc., 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 that cannot be verified. Hold on. The speaker shall be the sole judge. So, members.
The problem, I think, with this question, if you listen to Peter Bunting later on, this question, it's not in this clip though. This question was in relation to Central Manchester mining, and there's some effects to Melissa. Possible the flood, the down so. But the reason they don't is the same reason they shut down the landslide question before Melissa. and you saw the effects of landslide across Jamaica. The problem here, there's many problems here. One, the Prime Minister entrencher to block anything important of the nation. But two, the PNP continued participation that they should or must withdraw from the government legislative agenda, meaning the government cannot get any legislation through while the Prime Minister's wife is still sitting there. We're not going to get any headway.
Members allow us to be reasonable. If the speaker, if the clerk gets the questions today, the speaker has to review the questions. You're giving notice of a specific set of questions. You can't give notice in general. The notice is attached to a specific set of questions. You members and members on our side, let us go over this again. The notice is attached to a specific set of questions. You do not give notice in general. You give notice that you're going to ask these specific questions. Before that can be done, the speaker has to review the questions to ensure that they accord with the standing orders. The questions came in.
You see, everybody have put the blame on Philip Palwell. What about the clerk who got the question and failed to hand them over? Or is it that the clerk hand them over and Juliet Holness is lying because she don't want that particular question be asked?
Today, the speaker will do her review and will revert to the member.
House Leader, I will ask you not to take your seat as yet. Let me read further for the member. Subsection 2 of same Standing Order 16, which is why you are sure the speaker is required to review before just putting a document forward. If the speaker is of the opinion that any question of which a member has given notice to the clerk infringes the provisions of any standing order or is in any way an abuse of the right of questioning, he may direct A, that the member concerned be informed and that the question is out of order, or B, that the question be entered in the order book, which such alterations as he may direct. We have never had, even in practice, outside of the standing order, this approach that you're attempting to take. It's out of order.
Obviously, the question arises as to why, if the clerk got the questions before 10 o'clock, why they couldn't get to the speaker, so maybe the speaker would have had a chance to read them and go through them, seeing that the clerk must have known that the opposition would have wanted them to be tabled in Parliament that day. But let's give everybody the benefit of the doubt. It's the day that Parliament is going to sit. Let's say the clerk was overwhelmed. She had so much doing, she couldn't get to it. Let's say even if the questions had got to the speaker, again, it's a day of Parliament sitting. Maybe she was so busy as well, she couldn't get to it. Let's just assume all of that. My point is, you know the situation. Why are you putting yourself in this position? Anyway, it's never done yet though, because the opposition leader, Mark Golding, got up as well.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The crux of this issue, yes, you have to review the questions, and a reasonable time ought to be provided for that. These particular questions were submitted by email before 10 a.m., we're told today. So they've been at the Parliament for 4 hours. You're saying that you've just got them. So a member could reasonably expect that those questions, which may not be lengthy, could be reviewed and approved so that they could be tabled today, given that there's a 21-day notice period before whoever those questions are directed at has to answer. To the extent that the administrative arrangements in this House don't permit the prompt review of the questions, it's problematic because the notice period is extremely lengthy. And that's why we're objecting.
Madam Speaker, I think for one to say it's reasonable that the questions are sent today, to be tabled today, is completely misplaced, right? It is completely an unreasonable approach. right? If the member, I would suggest at minimum the member send the day before for the tabling in the house. At minimum, to give the speaker enough time. The speaker does have other matters, right? That's not unreasonable. Anyway, Madam Speaker, this matter is clear. The members know better, and I would ask them to conform.
So do I think questions can be sent in the morning and be ready for tabling in the afternoon by 2 o'clock whenever it is Parliament starts? Yes, obviously. But the PNP must know by now that this is not the environment they're in. Nobody's bending over backwards to help them. And on top of that, right, every time they talk, they're having the standing orders waved in their face as if they're some little picnic whenever they do their homework. Also making it look as if they don't know the standing orders and don't understand how Parliament works. Look, that maybe did catch you the first sitting of Parliament, but it's not supposed to still be happening. You can't come every week and make it look like, say, your kindergarten teacher go beat you because you don't know your ABC. Come on, man, do better than that. So what do I think the opposition parliamentarians should do? And in this case, Mr. Bunting in particular, 1, send your questions to the clerk at least 2 days in advance if possible. We heard the leader of government business say, well, at least 24 hours. I would go with 48, send them to the clerk at least 48 hours before, and then make sure you have somebody sit down on the phone and make sure that those questions get to the speaker in time for her to approve them for tabling. There's not supposed to be any excuse for your questions not being tabled, and certainly the argument should not be that you never do what you were supposed to do. 2, make sure you can quote and use and wave around the standing orders to back up every single thing you say and do. Number 3, learn how to speak concisely. Learn how to frame your questions as tightly and concisely as possible. Because this ongoing argument between the opposition members and the speaker about how they're asking questions also deserves its own video, and I will do one, but not today. But tech sleep mark death. If you're a parliamentarian, surely your aim is to get your questions out and answered. And what happens is that they're asking questions in response to a minister's statement, and they're being told it's not in the form of a question, it's too long, all kinds of bagga things. Now, speakers in the past have been more flexible, have used their discretion more. You already know that that is not this speaker. So stop fighting over that and tighten your questions so you can get them out. Leave the quarreling for important things and make sure when a time for actually have a serious quarrel, you might not want to call it quarrel, sorry, may I call it quarrel. When it's time to have a serious argument over something really serious, by that time, it should be clear that you have done everything you are supposed to do correctly, in good time and according to the standing orders. Come, time to get serious. The country needs an opposition. The country needs a viable opposition that looks as if it knows what it's doing in the parliament, and right now, not seeing that. All right, have to leave it there. Comment below, keep it civil, all right? Like the video.
Ghetto, run, keep going on, less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just a try and I as a watchman around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I she never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Day or night. We gonna bust down Babylon walls. Prepare every the way. Prepare every the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down, war and cry. Fight down, me say Rastafari. War and cry and do that righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, Jah Rastafari, and we love Jah, Jah Rastafari. And we love Jah, we love Jah. away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I as a watchman, I run Babylonian walls.
Now, I hope Dan Jackson Miller have answered that question for you. But if you've been watching me for quite some time, you would know that despite throwing my support behind the PNP for the last general election, I have several issues with the PNP prior and ongoing. Messaging, optics, being strategic, they're just not getting it. They're just not getting those points across. Messaging, optics, and being strategic. And this problem of the speaker, while they have make it clear that they do not support her, can be dealt with in other ways, such as I've regularly said to them, you must withdraw your support from the government legislative agenda until the speaker is changed. That's the last resort. We have got to that point because with the entrenchment of the Prime Minister's wife, we will never be able to get the chance, and we've seen repeated, not just since this parliament, in the last parliament, repeated behaviors of it where questions get blocked if it doesn't go with the agenda of the government or if there's something that they're hiding. The government passing a legislation on a 2/3 majority requires the support of the PNP. The PNP can withdraw their legislative support from the government unless Ms. Holness is being removed. My advice is that they do that because we need a robust parliament where we have proper debate and questions asked. In this current parliament or with this speaker, we're not getting any headway. The PNP needs to be strategic and tactical. I don't know what's more about the PNP, okay, if I go answer them this morning. Because you see the uptown politics, Mark Golden, yes, I would welcome that classy politics when you become a leader. That's not suitable, Mark Golden, though, for an opposition. All right? Finally this morning, from Marcus Garvey, unite Jamaica or perish. Thank you very much. I hope I answer your questions this morning. Thank you all very much. Make sure you hit the like button before you go. And please join us back later from the trenches, the front line of the war. Thank you. Goodbye.
Too long in our little ghetto, run keep going on, less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just as I and I as a watchman, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I she never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Day or night, we gotta pass down Babylon walls. Prepare the way, prepare the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down war and crime, fight down. Me say Rastafari, war and crime, and do the righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, and we love Jah, Jah Rastafari. love Jah. We love Jah. Jah Rastafari. We love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Preserve our people. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I as a watchman, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I and I should never hold thy peace while we penalize. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war and crime. Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Preserve all. And we love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Me love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Me love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Preserve all. Me love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Jah Rastafari. Jah Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.